Hello, everybody. I'm Donna from Purple Pinky Promises. This makes 3 weeks in a row that I'm early. I don't know what's happening. Ah, it's crazy. If you are here in the chat, say hello in the chat. And yeah, as soon as we get some chatter going, I will go ahead and get started. If you are here catching the replay, you might want to fast forward just a little bit while we wait for people to hop on. We are creating a shaker, but I don't know that it's what you're expecting. We're going to create a fun shaker here with this, of course, I'm a little bit early. We are the Take a Dip shaker dies from Catherine Pooler. So I will wait for some folks to hop on. Hello, hello. If you're here, say hello. I'll wait at least a couple of minutes. Kelly, hello. You're not here. You're on YouTube. Last week, Kelly said that she thought that I needed somebody to come in here and help me while I'm live. I said, you're welcome to come in and help me anytime you like. All right. Hello, Kelly. Thanks for joining me tonight. All right. So this Take a Dip shaker die set is a new Catherine Pooler release, released yesterday. But this little set here is going to actually meet the last release, which is this darling little set called Bear Hugs. And I'm going to use the sentiment from this set, which is called Sweet as Honey. And this little guy is going to be floating in the pool of, oh, you're in Colorado, Kelly. Hi. Well, thank you for joining me while you're in Colorado. That's nice. So this little guy is going to be floating in a pool of honey. And that is what we're doing. We're also going to use the Hey There Honey patterned paper. I'm just going to kind of show you this paper before we get started. I have used, of course, these little bees. That's our background. And this is going to be our honey that this little guy is going to swim in. Honey, I guess honeycomb. But he's swimming in honey. So we're going to be using, I didn't really show you the paper, did I? I just kind of briefly, I'll just kind of show you the paper thumbing through. It's really pretty paper. The patterns are gorgeous. All right. So there's that. And let's see, I've got Over Coffee for our bear. And I think I'm going to go with Amber for our honey pot that is going to be on his belly. I was going to go with honeycomb, but I think it's going to be too light and might blend in too much with the background. So that's what we're going to go with is Amber. And Icaria, I believe that's how this is pronounced, sequin mix is going to be what we use for the shaker. And okay, so I'm going to go through the bits and pieces here. I have cut out this bear from 100-pound cardstock And that's what's going to give us some dimension for him. Instead of putting him on foam, I'm going to layer him up. So I'll show you that here in just a second. But I just want you to know that I cut him out 4 times with a 100-pound cardstock. I'm going to stamp him and put him on the top after we do that. Okay, so I have stamped, and I fussy cut out around the sentiment. There's not a die for the sentiment, so I went ahead and did that ahead of time. And again, that is from this set, which is called the Sweet as Honey. There's only dies to cut out certain elements on this, and the sentiment is not one of the things that is, there's no die for it. Okay, I am going to talk to you just really quickly about how I got my swimming pool. And Catherine Pooler also has a really good video on this as well, but I'm just going to briefly talk to you about how I did this. I have some acetate. I did cut my acetate to the largest piece here. So I cut it out from this largest die, all right? And to get that cut out, I did have to put some copy paper underneath when I was die cutting so that it would cut all the way through. And I kind of rolled it 4 times. But your copy paper, your acetate, it's actually plastic, and then your die, and you roll it through 4 times. And it works pretty good. It's a pretty good, I might have had to snip my scissors in just a couple of places, and it was great. This does have plastic on both sides that will need to be peeled off, but here is our piece that we're going to glue to this, which I'll tell you how I got in just a minute, and it kind of has some etching around it, like a real swimming pool, okay? So that's what we'll attach here. And how I ended up getting, this is also cut out with this piece as well. All right, now how did I get this piece? Well, these 2 pieces do nest, and you could take them down nested to your cardstock if you like. They're very, very close though. I'm gonna show you here with this. You see how close those are? They're like really close. And you could do it that way. But Catherine had a little tip, and that was to go ahead and die cut your full piece like this, and then take this piece and put it over it and tape it down. It's for some reason, it's just easier to visualize. It's just, you can get it more even that way. So that's how I did that. And then I came out with this piece. So that's just a backtracker there. Okay, that is how I got all that. And that's done. There's also a slide and a diving board and a ladder that comes with this set. That's really, really cute. That's another card though. We're not doing all that. We're gonna do something different. So without further ado, I am gonna go ahead and start this card. I'm really excited. So this is my 4th die cut piece. I'm gonna pop it on top, and when I stamp my bear, it will go right on top of this stack. This is a nice stack of a good height. I didn't want too much dimension, but I didn't want too little. Okay, we're having trouble with the live. Holler at me if you're still with me, because I didn't realize that I lost you. Sorry if I lost you, and I have no idea where I lost you, so my apologies. All right, Mr. Bear's ready to go there. And now I'm just gonna glue, I'm gonna peel this off, the plastic here. And there is some on this side, so I'm gonna have to kind of dig at it at the edge, just a little, to get that off and started. All right. Done. So I'm gonna put my glue on this and then attach those 2 together. So here we go. I don't wanna put too much glue. If I end up putting too much glue, I can just take my finger and kind of spread that out. Thank you, Kelly, for letting me know that you're still connected. I appreciate that. It's always good to know that it is still going live. Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna attach this to my acetate. Try not to get too wiggly with it, and lay it down and yeah, like that. You don't do that. Try not to do that. But you can always wipe it off because it's barely art glue. So there we are. I've got a rag to do this with. I'm gonna clean it before I go any further because I don't want glue showing. And now y'all see why I said what I said about the glue, because glue on acetate is not very pretty, but it does. This glue is fantastic. It rolls right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it. I'm just gonna see if I can find something that's not gonna stick too bad. It'll stick to that mat. Let's see, where's our glue? Just gonna wipe it off, get it good and cleaned up. There we go. I think we're good to go. Yep, one more spot. So it's just a microfiber cloth that you can wipe up this glue on this acetate. It's all good as new. All right. So now we're going to need to put down our swimming pool. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue my swimming pool down the way I want it to be. And I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit at an angle. And I think my sentiment's gonna kind of lay right up in this area. I'm just gonna bring that up like that. And we'll glue this down. Over just a little. We need to go over. There we go. So there we are. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead to go to the back side of this and get my thin strips of foam on there. So I'm going to go and make sure that I don't have any gaps because we don't want anything to come out. So I'm going right here around this edge. I don't want this to show through the front, so I'm watching where I'm going and making sure that this is not going to show on the front. What I mean by that is, like, you don't want it to show over here on this side. All right, let's keep going. And some of you, this is elementary because you've done a lot of shaker cards. But by some chance, if somebody's new to shakers and they watch this video, I want to make sure we get them covered. Or people who have maybe made a shaker, but it's been a long time and they need a refresher. So, as you can see here, I am buttoning these up right next to each other as I go around this swimming pool. So right there, right up next to each other, no gaps. Making sure it's laying flat and not on its side. Hi, Lindy. I'm sorry you didn't get your litter cleaned in time. Man, I know what that, listen, that's an important thing. I know that's an important thing. Trust me. Whew, sometimes those cats. Arrgh. Okay, so we're getting near the end, and so I'm going to determine exactly where I'm going to cut this off. And it's coming off there at that spot. That's okay, I'll just leave it upside down, ready to adhere. Or I can just cover it back up. Because I do want to put, I'm going to put some, well, sometimes when I put the powder in there, sorry guys, I'm just cutting this off here. You couldn't see what I was doing. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any gaps. So move this over just a smidge so it doesn't go outside to the front. I think we're good. Yep, we're not going over any edges here. So we've got our swimming pool top. So this is nice and shiny for the top of your swimming pool. So here's the back side of the swimming pool. And this is going to adhere right here, just like so. And we're gonna have our little pool of honey, but we're gonna add our honey bits in there so that our little bear can swim on it. All right, I kind of was a little bit proud of myself for coming up with something so novel. I just thought that was fun. All right, let's do it. Let's get our shaker bits and let's lay it out. And I think I am gonna go around my pool with my powder tool. I'm just gonna go inside here just to make sure that it's not too sticky and our bits don't stick to it. Just gonna go around. Powder. And I will go around it with glue just in case I got powder on my foam tape, because that will not stick if I got powder on it. All right, these are the Icaria sequins, as I mentioned before, and I do want some of that golden stuff in there too. There's some really dark golden. This is a beautiful mix, you guys. Yellow. This would make a great, if you had a sunshine shaker, these would be beautiful in a sunshine shaker. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just dropping these in. I want it to fill up my whole card. So I'm just making sure that I get a lot of shaker bits in here. And folks, I think this is good. I think I got a lot. And the reason I want these dark in here is because I'm gonna make his honey pot amber. Yes! It's a yellow pool of honey. Yeah, nobody peed in the pool. Well, maybe Mr. Bear, but. Yeah, it is summertime, and you know, what do they put in there to make it not? I'm just kidding. We're not gonna have that conversation because it's ew. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay this down, and it's a pool of honey. Why is the pool yellow? Who made the pool yellow? Oh my goodness. This will also, putting glue on here will also give me some wiggle room so I can move it and align it properly. Just going around with glue. That's really funny. All right. I've got my ends aligned properly. I need to bring this closer so I can see it. So my apologies if you cannot, but I gotta see this. I gotta see where I'm headed with this. Oopsie. See? I was already in the wrong place. Now I think I've got it right. Well, it's going down. I'm making the commitment anyway. There it is. We have committed to our pool of honey. Oh, how fun is that? All right, Mr. Bear, we're gonna stamp him. Oh gosh, I love a good shaker. It's just nothing like it. Okay, let's see. We could go ahead and put our sentiment on. Hope your birthday is sweet. Just glue that down. I'm gonna just gonna take this, because this is the same height. We might as well go ahead. I'm gonna put 2 on here. So we'll put some more. Is that gonna be enough? Let's see what we have. I think that'll be perfect. Hope your birthday is sweet. I want the bees to be noticeable too. Kind of like that. Perfect. I think I need a little at the edge. Just take a little off of there. Put some of this here. I think that makes it about right. For those of you catching the replay, Lindy was like, oh, I thought, wow, there must be an awful lot of kids in that pool. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue up here at the top, and we'll peel those off. That is so funny, Lindy. A yellow pool. All right. Hope your birthday is sweet. And now let's do Mr. Bear. Okay, we have this. Stamp him. This. So we'll start the stamping with his outline first. So we'll also stamp the honey pot. So I think I have enough room for both of those. Stamp him here. And we'll take this little honey pot. I think there's enough room for it to be on his belly. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Which bin has the black ink? 1 second, folks, while I go get my black ink. We have classes here tomorrow, so we've already put out the black ink. Here it is. I'll have to remember to put it back. Okay. So, there he is. I've got him on my mat, and I'm just going to ink that up. Just like so. I'm probably gonna have to ink this pad. It's been used quite a bit. Shoo, it didn't go down. Oof. I'm gonna do it one more time. There we go. Right back down where we were. And I don't know how that happened. Mr. Bear and my honey pot did not line up. Let's try that again. I must have done something womperjot. I didn't lay it down properly. Okay, paying attention. These go in just like little, it's like a puzzle. So you gotta take care and take your time and not be in a hurry. Let's do it again. All right. Paying attention here. Bringing that down. There we go. Now I can see we did it right. Okay. Yay. I didn't clean it off before I took it off. Okay, now I have ink on me. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is there is a layering piece that colors this. So we're just going to line up this over the bear. And it will color him in. And I think that looks really good. I'll show you what I've got. I'll get the honey on there. And I think I want to maybe get my brush. I didn't even think about this when I was collecting all my supplies, but if I get my brush, let me move this down where I can see this. Make sure I'm lining this up good. Yep, looks good. So I just lined that up over the image. It's all lined up. And I'm gonna get my brush and I'm gonna make it darker at the bottom and lighter at the top because the sun is hitting his belly. So, show you what I mean by that. Okay, so we're gonna pick this up. Now that we have it in position, we're gonna pick it up. Looking at it again, it looks good. So I'm gonna ink up my bear in Over Coffee. And I'm going to ink him all over. But I'm gonna kind of do some blending so that his belly isn't as dark. Now, I'm probably gonna have to stamp this again. I'm gonna do the honey after this. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. We'll see. I don't know that I like it. It's got some, we're gonna do this again, folks. I don't really like that. There. I haven't ever stamped with this, so sometimes it needs to be conditioned. I should have conditioned this. Why am I getting that? Oh, he does have a little bit of light on his belly. But what I do want, for sure, and what I can do is, hold on here, folks. I'll probably fill in, let's do this, let's go back here. It's at the legs and at his arm. Here. is that doing that? It's bubbling and giving me spots. And I don't know if it's the stamp. But I don't want to go darker. So Mr. Bear is going to have to wait. So I have there's nothing on my stamp that's making it do that. I think it's just bubbling up. 1 second, folks. I'm getting my steps in. I got a solution. See, I had it all together. You shouldn't have said I had it all together, because now that you've said I had it all together, I have something happen. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I am going to take a blender brush, a blender pen. Yeah, you spoke too soon. So, and I'm just going to dip it into my ink pad, and I'm just going to tap where my little spots are that I want to fill in, and it's filling it in. And that's the nice thing about a blender pen, is that if that happens, you can fill in. And, you know, bears are not evenly colored either, are they? They've got spots. They've got natural markings. Now, you have to be careful with this method because it can lift your color, actually. And if you get too much, you get a dark spot. So you don't want to do that either. But I'm just going in here, lifting up some ink, and I'm gonna get, I think that's gonna help. And I'll have to stamp with that some more to kind of figure that out. But that's okay. So now let's do our honey. Where's my honey pot? It's on the, there it is, it's on here. I was like, where did it go? Now I'm gonna take my amber. We're gonna, this is a brand new ink pad. I've not used it, so it's probably really juicy, and it's probably gonna be doing the same thing. So we're gonna get in here and, look at that. I think it turned out nice. I think it's gonna be fine. There's another stamp, and I'm gonna stamp it probably 3 times. We're gonna put on top of that, or maybe we'll just do the light. Let's do the light. So we line up this stamp. I don't know if you guys can see this. So I am gonna do honeycomb in there. So just a lighter color with it. So we have some contrast between the two. So I'm gonna line that up. There. Get these off. You jinxed me, Kelly. Yeah, jinxed me. But Mr. Bear's fine. I fixed him. Okay. Not really sure why that happened, but I'm chalking it up to a new stamp. I don't know. This one we're probably gonna have to stamp it a couple of times, I'm thinking. Maybe. Oh, and I kind of like it. I like it just like that. Okay, we're good. We're done. So now we're just gonna die cut. We have a honey pot. We're just gonna sit right on his belly. And there we go. Let's get those dies out. Where'd they go? Mr. Bear. Is this it? It is. So he makes me think of the Bare Necessities. Blue the bear, when he's like laying in the, he's in the water and he's just floating along the water. That's what he makes me think of. So, he's cute. Here's my little honey pot. I'm just lining up my dies, bringing them close to me where I can see, folks. If you couldn't see what I did, I'll show you what I did. Put these dies over my images and taped them down. So now, we can roll these through and put down our bear. Yay! Anybody else got the song in their head? They can't get it out because I said Bare Necessities. The Jungle Book, that's the movie. Okay. Here's our honey pot. Here's Mr. Bear. Okay. He's out of the way. And I forgot to tell you guys, I use this craft plastic from Barely Art. I don't think I showed it to you, but I really am liking this craft plastic. I really like it a lot. It's nice and sturdy. Okay, so, oh, I just realized if I cut him out with a bunch of layers, it means I probably should do the honey pot that way too. Word. So where to put him? I was thinking he could go over here. His honey pot could be on his belly, so it means he needs to come down. So about right there. Let me cut out some honey pots. Just cut it with this. I'll get 4 of these. Roll them through. Actually, I probably need, I'm gonna need more. Might need 5. Let's see how many we end up needing. I'm gonna do 4 to begin with. We'll line them all up together and we may need to add another. I'm looking at this, trying to figure this out. Two down. 2 to go. Actually, if I cut that off, I'd have a shorter distance. Where's my scissors? think of that sooner, huh? So. Perfect. Number 3. Number 4. Let's just keep going. All right, just move back towards the edge. Okay. Let's put him on, glue him down. Real crafting 101. Just when you think. And you know what, guys? I think he could be like, it could just be at the tip. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think oh, look, there's a little bit, if I leave a little, All right, folks, I think I have a little aha moment here. Let's see. Let me think. I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Never mind. So we're just going to layer up our honey pot just like that. I think I'm just going to lay it right next to his belly. I think that'll work just fine. There's not a whole lot of white space around this honey pot, so I think it's going to work fine. Nor is there a lot of white space around him. So. All right. Put him here. Let's kind of straighten him out. Stick that there. Oops, what happened there? Did that shift on me? It shifted. I'm gonna cut that off. If you ever get off on your layers, you can always just trim it. There. Off over here too. Nice, okay. Yes, yes, there it is. That's cute. I like it. He's got his honey pot on his belly. Okay, it's going down and we're committing it. This is the hard part because I don't want to smear glue on my acetate. And it needs to come up just a little. Our honey pot. My little thought that I had was that I could tuck that first layer underneath his belly, but I have to be able to go all the way underneath. What I could have done is tucked all the layers into Mr. Bear, but it might be a little difficult. I'm gonna move that just a smidge. And now you have your explanation as to why you have a swimming pool that is yellow, because it's a honey pot. And Mr. Bear is swimming in honey. How fun is that? Now that makes me smile. Okay, we're gonna pop this on the card front and call it a card. It is done. Hip hip. I have something stuck to me. There we go. Whoop, whoop. All right, Mr. Bear, swimming in a pool of honey. I love it. And we could, we could put, a diving board, because that set comes with the diving board and a ladder. I mean, you could put that on there, but I just decided to leave it off. I might add it. I don't know. Should we add it? Uh-oh, here's the question. Should we add it? Should we add the ladder? Kind of like right there. Or over here. I think I might. I think I'm gonna add it on there. It's a cute little element. We don't have much room for a slide or anything else. It would be too cluttered for that, but a ladder I think we could do, and that would be cute. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, let's put this towards the edge so that we don't have to go all the way through. Let's get this die cut. Move it back out. Yay. Yes. Yes, that's cute. I like it. Now, here's the kicker. It's so small. I'm gonna need to really just dab my glue in spots. And then take it and dab it on my hand so that I don't get too much glue on there. And then put it down. And there it goes. Perfect. Now we have a ladder. Oops, I think I still got glue on there anyway. I don't know how that happened. Because it's me, that's how it happened. There we go, that's coming off. It's the ladder to the pool. We're adding the ladder. The other elements, there's a slide and there's a diving board that goes on there too, but that's too much. We don't want too much more. There's already enough going on with it being a shaker. So that is it. That's what we're doing. And now we're done. We're for sure done. And thanks, Kelly, and thank you, Lindy, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week and weekend.